Hello friend, it's Tonton, and in today's video we're gonna talk about the pets. We just got a new one. We got the Polar Terror level 7, and we had some like leaked footage from China, the Chinese state about the level 8. So I basically got all the information about all the pets that we could currently have in the game. So I will cover the new pet and as well do an updated version of my pet guide, because there are, it's kind of scattered over time for the pet guide, and I don't have like a all-in-one video about it. So let's start with pets in general, and we'll look at the new pets in a sec. So you start at the bottom. Maybe we will actually go right here to start with on Chrome. And you can see on my timeline where are the pets, right? You get the first pets just after Sunfire Castle, so the day after. So you get the cave hyena, you get the Arctic wolf, you get the musk ox. Then, a bit later, 40 days, 35 days later, you get the pet 4 and 5. So you get the Titan rock and the giant tapir. Then you get the epic one, so the giant elk and the snow leopard, which is around day 143. So, it depends a bit. It's roughly just after Gen 3. Then Gen 4, you start to get your first SSR pets, which are really important, and we will talk about in a moment why. So you get the cave lion and the snow ape. Then Gen 5, you get more. Then Gen 6, you get more. And guess what? Gen 7, you get the new one, the one we currently had today. So Gen 7 seems to have it around 450 days. Please, understand that all of these dates are kind of, it's roughly when you get it. You can get them a bit sooner, a bit later. But that's kind of telling you, you start Gen 2, then you get the first 5 in Gen 2, and then you get extra pets every new gen of heroes, more or less. So that's kind of where it's at for when you get pets. The first few one, I'll cover very basic stuff, right? And I'm assuming you understand how to unlock pets, like the very, very basic, but I'll cover it also. It's like from beginning to the end, it's for everyone kind of guide. The cave hyena is really interesting for free-to-play, and even, everyone. It's reducing construction speeds. You get it Gen 2, so you still have a lot of buildings to do in your kind of, life as the player of Whiteout Survival. So that's, you will have, it goes to level 50, so I will have it level 40 at least, because that's reducing construction speed, and you will use it a lot. This one is increasing shift stamina, so it's as well overall very good. Pets take some stamina. You have daily missions to do every day, so I'll get it to, 50 or 60. So all of these, the first one that are like helping you and supporting you, I'll get them to max level minus 10. So this one is max level is 60, so I'll get it to 50 to 60 other, free-to-play low spender. If you're a rally leader, it's a very different story. We'll talk about that, but this one is allowing you to get, to gather instantly a tile, which, because it's a 15-hour cooldown, if you don't sleep 9 hours, you can use it. You can use it before you go to bed, for example, and you can use it in the morning, then you can use it the next day. You can kind of have a rotation. And on events that there is gathering, like today for Alliance Showdown, you can use it twice if you plan ahead. And the trick with this one is like if you activate it yesterday, for example, I sent all my gathering March, so they come back after reset to make points for gathering day in Alliance Showdown or SVS prep, for example. So I send my 6 March together, so they come back after reset. Then when they are inside the tile and starting to gather, I pop that, and that will start the 15-hour cooldown. So I'll go to bed, my gatherer will come back. In the morning, I'll send my oaks, so, it will trigger the skills, and then I will have it in the afternoon, so I can use it twice. So that can helpful, and that's, really help you with T11 resources and stuff. Then you have the tapir, which I'll max soon enough, and that's giving you pet food. It used to give a lot less, that's why it's lagging behind a bit. So, now is a lot more valuable, but it used to give a lot less. It used to give like a third of that, more or less. So, I left it a bit behind initially because it was a little food, but they buffed it recently. So now it's worth leveling him up. And that's all the pets that are kind of, helping you grow. So they are really important for free to play. So, you will get them, and with this one, up to Gen 2. No, giant tapir. Yeah, Titan rock. Yeah, you will get these into Gen 2. So the focus really for you will be these 4 pets as a free-to-play low spender. Get them to 40-ish if you can, 50-ish, 50-ish, 60-ish. That will be good, and then later you will be able to finish them. But these are only interesting if you do them early, because they're gonna compound over time. So the next, year, 2 years that you're playing the game, you will get a bit more every day from this. So I would rather do them now than do them later. That's the best one. Then for all the pets above above the tab here, they are kind of combat pets. And there are a few differences between them. Well, I'll review them quickly and then I'll kind of give you my take on that. So this one is reducing health. So have we seen in the bear guide, bear is, has a health pool, and if you and your points are based on the amount of damage you do compared to that bear pool. So the percentage of health that you are removing from the bear, which we don't see. You have no idea what, we don't really know how it works practically. We just got told and we tested and that's works. So that's pets is really important in PvP. You can activate it anytime, but because it's reducing health, if you activate it before the bear is popping, you will reduce the damage you do on bear. So you will want your bear, you don't want that buff to be active when your bear trap becomes active. So you want to wait for the bear trap to be activated, and 1 sec later you can pop that pet. So that's the way I do it. I wait for the bear trap to activate and I pop all my pets and I send my rally. So that's one thing important to know about the Titan's Rock, but it's really important. Reducing health is really important. And that's a whale. You can see the level of the skills here. You can always click on that little thing to see the level of the skill. So it goes up to 5% health minus. These are blue pets. That's the last blue pet. So you can see you have a gray pet, you have a green pet, and you have a blue pet. These two. On these, you don't really care about refining because they have so little stats. And we'll talk about refining a bit later, but just want to mention it here. Like they have so little stats in refining that you don't want to really care too much about refining, which is a bit weird. You're going to accumulate your refining stone for a very, very long time, actually. Then you start to have the purple pets, which are a bit... this one is as well one that they buffed recently, that give you an item lost, right? And that's up to 23-hour cooldown, which I've unlocked. That used to be terrible, now it's pretty good. You can get, 6 fire crystal, 5 charm design and stuff. So that's the last one at the free-to-play that could worth unlocking, because as a whale, it's gonna give you very little compared to your packs, but as a free-to-play, it's another source of free stuff every day. So, you might not be able to get to level 80, that's kind of a lot, but, somewhere level 6, 7 is already pretty good, because level 7, you will be able to use it once a day, and from time to time, you won't be able to activate it before you go to bed, so it will start over the next day, and then if you do it every 27 hours, you can get a lot from it, and 24 hours, you can just use it once a day. You cannot do like the Ox when you use it 2 times some days and stuff, unless you don't sleep. But is really good for free-to-play. It is really good for free-to-play, and that's something you should consider. Like for free-to-play, you should consider first the one that gives you something, and then the stats one, the battle ones. Then you start to have this one, that's, augmenting marching speed and reducing the enemy lethality. So that's the only way to reduce enemy lethality. So that's pretty good for a purple pet. And then you have the SSR one, the golden one. So you start to have a lot of them, as you can see. There are as many as Polar Terror and as many as Beast, right? If you pay attention, that's the last level of Beast, and that's the first level of Beast. So that you basically can tame what you have in the game, and that the amount of Polar Terrors as well. So now we have 8 levels and we have 7 pets active. So the first one is increasing troop attack, so that's really good. The second one is increasing your march capacity, your squad capacity. So that's really important because you will send more troops when you join a rally, when you defend for Crazy Joe, when you attack in bear. That's why I maxed one of this one. I maxed this one soon. Yeah, I just got everything for next SVS. Is because more deployment capacity means like if I have 10k more troops in my marches on Crazy Joe, I'll make more points than the other free-to-play or low spenders, right? Simple as that. And that's stats, that works because in rallies, because it chooses the rally leader stats as well, so you will contribute more basically. So that's overall good. You have the Rhino that is really insane for rally leader, which is rally capacity. As a free-to-play low spender, you don't really mind that much, but it gives stats to level it up, so you might want to do it still. Then you have this one that is increasing lethality, so that's really important, and I'll talk about these things a bit more. This one is increasing defense. The Mammoth, this one is increasing health. So, we have increased attack, health, defense, lethality. And guess what we have for the page number 7? It's reducing enemies' defense, right? And the one that we got from the Chinese league translate as reducing enemies' attack. These pets are super important to understand. These percentages on pets that you see, they are multiplicative. All of these are multiplicative. So when I say it's increasing 7% health, if I have multiplicative, mean if I had 1000 health, it's not gonna be 1007%, it's gonna be 1070%. So well, probably have 2000 plus percentage at that stage of the game, you know, close to 3000. Sometimes we've seen even with widgets and stuff. So that's gonna be, if it was 10% max, right? If it was maxed out pet, so if I had 2000, it's gonna give me 200% health because that's multiplicative percentages. So pets are crazy for whales and they are super, super important. And it works on all the pets that have you see, it's written by the percentages, and that's usually when it's multiplicative. So this one, increasing defense. So if you had 3000 defense and you get 10% because it's max, it's gonna give you 300% defense. So that's really big. That's really, really big, and pets are really important for that. And these are flat value for the increase of, it's not a percentage, it's a flat value for increasing the march capacity and the rally capacity. But the whales, you will want to max out more, you know, if you're a rally leader, you will want to max out all of them for the skill. The refinement, we'll talk about it later. If you are free to play, you know, or low spender, I see it as, you know, in two different ways. So the first way we talk about is, I mean, that would be a third, but either really that the one that a utility pet that buff you and that give you extra rewards. Then the rest is you have to decide if you go for offense or defense. Some people will suggest to go for defense because they're like, oh, I want to defend in Foundry and not get burned. For me, it's not gonna change much in my opinion, so I'll rather go for offense. And for offense, I mean bear damage, so you do more bears, you know, you do more damage overall. So, you know, when you attack a player, you do more damage. When you attack bear, you do more damage. And that's, you know, that's the way I think is the best way for you as a free-to-play. You know, if you want to go for defensive option, you can. So if you look at all these skills, you will want to, you know, this one is reducing health, so as a free-to-play, I will not stress too much about it. This one is reducing lethality, same, I would not stress too much about it. The march speed is okay. So I'll focus on more this one, that's increasing attack, the lion. Squad capacity, like I said, important. Increasing lethality, really important. So that's the main three pets I will focus at the free-to-play. If you care about your offense and bear damage and contribution to this, it will be the Saber-tooth Tiger, the lion, and this one. Because the other one, that's buffing defense, and that's buffing health. And this one is removing defense. So I'll let these defensive one lag behind a bit. And when I mean lag behind a bit, it's maybe 10 levels. It's not a lot. So I would not just focus crazily on these three and forget everybody else, right? I will just, if I have to choose in which order I'm increasing them, and if you look at my pets, you know, they're kind of all to the same level. And I'm just, you know, I'm bringing them all to level 80. And, you know, I'm doing them 91 by 1, except this one that I think is really important to get to level 100 as soon as possible. And that, you know, I've been playing for 2 years, so it takes a while. But yeah, so that's kind of how you upgrade pets. Now, if we look about how to upgrade your pets, you have 3 items, right? You have the books, which you will get naturally from the game. You will get far enough, the game will give you enough, so that's no problem. Then you get the energizing potion, which you might miss at some point, so you might need to find a source of them. And the one you will need the most is the strengthening serums, and I'll tell you kind of where to get these. There are mostly 2 options to get these, and I think it's a very overlooked issue that people are not taking seriously, if that makes sense. The pets are permanent additions. So some people will use places where you can get the serums or the energizing potion. They will use them for widget. Widgets are temporary. Widgets, they will, you know, expire. You will have new heroes and you're not going to be able to use. So my suggestion will be to consider going more towards pets and at least trying to unstuck yourself as much as possible. If I log in on my farm, you will see all my pets have that little blue book. That means they can be upgraded. But I don't have the resources I don't have enough energizing potion and serum to upgrade them all. So I have enough XP, like pet food. That I have enough. The game gives me enough. The bottleneck is really serums. And if you get quite a few serums, the bottleneck is really then energizing potions. So where do you get it? You get it from, you can get them from Frosty Fortune. That's a season, you know, that's an event that you get every 4 weeks, more or less, 4 to 6 weeks. But I don't have it right now. I cannot show it to you. And the other option is you go to the mystery shop. And in the mystery shop, you can get this chest. It's gonna be 3 of them at 50%. And that's quite cheap. So instead of just doing widgets in Frosty Fortune and just doing widgets in mystery badges, mystery shops, I will really suggest you get some of these chests. And for me, that's why my Gen 2, my Gen 3, my Gen 4 are low in widgets. It's because I decided to, to do pets, because pets are permanent, and 2 more level of widget on my fleet, it's not gonna do much. 1 more level on my pets, or 10 more level on my pets, because that's allowing, you need this every 10 level. That's gonna give me a permanent increase of stat, plus I'm gonna get 1% more, whatever, attack, lethality, whatever. So I find that a lot better when your game gave you enough energizing potions, or the game, gave you not enough energizing potion as well, both of them are missing, then you can get some of these chests, you will be able to catch up on pets. If you look at packs for pets, I bought this one, which is actually when you unlock a new pet, these packs are scaling with time. So if you have your first pet, you will see you don't get 20k food, and you don't get 20 chests. That was a $5 pack, and that's actually really, really good for pets. Many events, people do not really buy pets in seasonal events and stuff like that. They are not always amazing, and you have often other priorities, but I think you need a good amount of these chests, because you can get serums or energizing potion, and that will be the bottleneck. So whatever, if you prefer to go seasonal event, if you prefer to go Frosty Fortune, if you prefer to go mystery badges, that will be, you will need to find a source of these. For spenders, like these packs, when you unlock a pet, are often one of the highest value, even if they're not really good, because you get both of them. If you look at here, what I can get, these are, every day available. I mean, that's available from Monday to Sunday. You can buy them once a week, but they are very steady. But if you look at here, what I can get for $5, €6, $5 is 18 of these, right? On the other pack, I got 20 plus 20k food. So even if they are best deals, these are a lot worse in my current gen, but that's the case, every time I check that what the case, they are a lot worse than the pack you get when you get a new pet. So if you're a very, very tiny spender, just buy the $5 pack. Tiny spender, probably not if you spend on pets, but if you're, $100, $500 a month, you might just want to buy the packs when you unlock pets, even early. They are not that good, but they are better than the alternative. You don't have many options for the pets. So that's kind of for spending. You have weekly cards and stuff for pets as well. Overall, the value is not crazy, but you're gonna get some of it. That for $6, it's gonna be daily, so that's actually quite good, because you're gonna get 14 of these, you're gonna get some XP. So it's actually a bit better than these for sure. So that will be the only benefit of these packs for pets and spenders is that you get exactly what you want. You don't get wasted. So if you have enough food, you just get that. If you want the refining stone, and we'll talk about it, you get them as well. So that's where we are for unlocking pets. What are your priorities on upgrading them? I think this one is highly overlooked for free to play. It really helps to get more troops, and it allows you to rank more. Even with the new pets, like they are ready for rally leader. This one reducing, and something that's really important to, just the thought for spenders and rally leaders. Here with the pets, you will be able to reduce up to, I should not have activated, but that does not matter. You can remove up to 10% of troop defense, and you will be able with the next one to remove 10% of troop attacks, and you have buff that remove 20% here. So lowering enemy defense. So when you gain 100 defense as a whale, when you fight, you will get 70, because someone will have a pet that is maxed on both attack and defense. So that's why people tend to love health and letalities. Like so far, there is no way to reduce both of these except the pets, but they remove only 5%, right? So when you gain 300% lethality, the best pet's gonna remove 15% of that. When the best, when you can remove 30%, that's gonna remove 90% of that. So out of 300, so out of 3,000, you will lose 900. So that's a lot. So that's really a lot. So that's something to think of. And that's the importance of pet, because that's really, really a lot. So let's talk about refining now. And that's where there are a lot of debates. Every time we talk about refining, I've read some other comments in some other content creators video or on mine. Last time I made a video about it, and I'm not gonna make a full guide. I'm gonna cover it very quickly. Gray, green, blue, even purple, they give a lot less stats. So if I compare a gray that is green, right? That's a gray pet that is, so when you refine, it goes from, you have 5 colors, right? You have gray, green, blue, purple, golden, and the range is a bit bigger. So, but you know, and it's harder when, you know, gray is very easy to refine to green, green is a bit harder to refine to blue, blue is quite harder to refine to purple, and then purple to golden is super hard. So if you look at my pets, I refine them to green, and you see you get 2-3% of stats, right? On these, on the gray, on the green pets. On the blue pets, you get a bit more, you get 4.5, but look at the necessary pet. Green, you go to 13%, so you get far more stats. So when you start to have pets, like refining these give you nothing. The purple are kind of in between. See, they are giving you 5-6%, but it's still a lot less. So you could put them green if you want to, but I would never go like I did, because I didn't know, because I had, you know, when we had these pets, we didn't know we will get these ones, and we didn't know that they will get so much more stats, but now you know, so I can tell you. So I will go very light on refining. Very light on refining, even the purple ones. Purple one, you can put them to green for sure. The other one, I don't even know if I want to refine them anyway. But, you know, to green is okay. But I will not go beyond green unless you are like a massive spender and you have all them maxed out, which is, you know, very tiny amount of spenders. How do you refine? If you go to gray to green, so let's pick this one. So I was, let's pick this one. So to gray to green, right? So let's say I'm just unlock the pet. So let's actually look at this one. That's gonna be better, right? So I just unlocked a new pet, and I'm like, okay, that starts from that. So gray to green, this is gonna cost me roughly 150 to 200 wild marks from my own test. I've seen other numbers online, but that's, you know, that's my test. I've done that extensively on stream once, so that's, you know, I'll go with what I get, because I could not find like a very strong like source of data points for that. So that's 150 stones. So if you see I have 300, it can look like a lot, but I'll do that once, and that's gonna be gray to green. Then green to blue, and if I use auto, so there are two strategies using auto, and another one we will see in a moment. When you are green to blue, it's taking more or less 600. So to go to gray to blue, so at the beginning of blue is not maxed out, but you just unlock blue on all stats, is in average 750 of these stones. So you see you're gonna need 1,000 and 1,000 and 1,000 of these. These, the advanced wild mark, you should not use, and we'll talk about when to use them later. But the common wild marks, you might use them from, you know, from gray to green on these, so 100, 150, 200 if you're unlucky. Then up to the blue pets, then you know, on the purple you do same, you do gray to green, so that's 150, and that's if you calculate 200, 150, that's a lot of mark. That's already above 1,000 just to get there, right? So my suggestion will be to do that up to purple pets. When you are at the golden pets, the SSR ones, what you can do is you can go to up to blue, so you will use 750 with auto. That's simple at that. Then when they start to be like that, you have two options, and I'm not gonna go into, again, I have a video that I will link in the description for the second option. Either you do them with auto, again, you just do auto for that, and that's gonna take I don't have the numbers here, but I watched Cheesegull doing it. It was like 2,000, I think, to go to blue to purple. So it's take 200 to go to gray to green, 600 to go to green to blue, and to blue to purple is like 1.5 or 2,000. So you see it's crazy, and then you can go to purple to golden, because what happens is like the stones will, when you refine, you get some, you see I'm losing power, so I'm losing more stats than I'm gaining. I'm gaining 0.5 and I'm using 0.20, I mean 0.05, and I'm losing 0.25, 0.03, 0.7, so I'm losing a lot of stats. So in that case, you don't want to validate, you want to retry. And see here, I'm losing again. So, and the higher the quality your pet is, the more they will fail. This stone, the less, you know, since it's 5 and I 6, 7, I'm earning nothing. I'm winning nothing right now. There is nothing I'm winning. So Lancer Lethality, I actually want it, so I'll take it. I want to secure that one in blue. But you see, your stone will start to fail a lot, so you will need a huge quantity. So that's why we come with two strategies to refine. So the first one is just to use auto every time, or you do it yourself manually and you choose a bit what you want. It's like, okay, yeah. Some people are just using this indicator. If it's green, I'm saying, okay, that's... And some people are kind of thinking a bit more, right? But you see, like right now, I'm getting a bit lucky. I got some that works. 120, so okay, you just do that, or you do that with auto. Auto is simple. If it's green, it's accepting the stone. If it's red, it's declining the stone, and it goes to the next one. So on your SSR pets, going again to blue to purple is gonna take you 2000 stones, and you don't want to use these yet. These, when you are purple, the blue marks, they are barely working anymore. So that's why people came up with the second strategy we'll see in a moment. So the blue marks are barely working anymore, so people need to use the advanced one that cost a lot of money. If you look in packs, and you need 1,000 of them, you really need 1,000 and 1,000 of them per pets. If you look at a $6 pack, I can buy, it's $1 each. It's $1 each, and I'm gonna need 1,000 and 1,000 of them to do all my pets, and now there are 2 more pets, so that's gonna be crazy. So that's a crazy amount of money to buy these, and you might have less per pack at your stage, because we are Gen 9 so now, so we get by quite more. If you are older, you might get 1 for €2 or 1 for $2, so that's really insane. The other strategy to refine is which I've done on some pets. Let me find one for you. You see, like, not even all my pets are blue. I've been playing that game for 2 years, so it's really tough. Not all my pets are blue. So I don't think I have one anymore. But the other strategy will be, let's say I want to focusing on one stat at a time. So usually the way you do it infantry health, then marksman or lancer's lethality. And the way you do the strategy is, when you are blue, you cannot go back to green, right? So the strategy will be to accept all the stones that improve infantry health. So we'll turn that, when we are blue, we will turn that to purple. Everything else will be close to 0, but we will secure infantry health. So we'll refine. So, I mean, this one is not moving infantry health and moving everything else, so we will accept. We will refine. Again, not moving infantry health, we will accept, because it's a buff. This one is a decline. But you see here, for example, let's say I was focusing on marksman lethality instead. I was not doing infantry health. I was like, I'm gonna put marksman lethality purple. I lose a lot of stat everywhere else, but I get the marksman lethality. So in that case, when you focus them stat by stat, you will accept, and you do stat by stat. So, it's like I was focusing on marksman lethality now. So I will accept. And then marksman lethality goes up again, I will accept. And I would not care about anything else. So that's one strategy. The other strategy is to do auto. And you have these two strategies that are kind of competing. The way it works, the way people suggest it, and you will find different advice, is do auto until blue. That's for sure. You do auto until blue. Then when you are blue, I'm actually suggesting to mixing both strategies on some pets. So some people will tell you, at blue, you start to do the focus strategy, you use stat by stat, and you use the blue stones. And that allows you to get even to golden with the blue marks, which is, like I said, they are useless for wealth. So you will be able to do stat by stat. And, like Black Ted, like a big YouTuber, is suggesting that in the last video I've seen from him. Like Cheesegull was suggesting to go to purple to auto, for example. For me, I'll mix. So what I would do if I was to invest more in pets, either with my gem, is I will put 1 or 2 pets with auto to purple. And I will do that immediately. So that's why I went back to the Cave Lion, because I will do that very, very soon, which, I did not do on my account because we didn't know at the time these things, right? So for me, I have other problem to fix with my pets. But if I was starting over, I will pour a lot of these blue stones to the Cave Lion. So the Cave Lion will be purple. And then I will have saved all of my advanced wild marks forever. So since the beginning. So I will have saved them for 3-4 generations. And then when my first SSR pet is purple, I will use these wild marks on it. And that's gonna take me, if I don't buy many of these, it's gonna take me years to finish that pet to golden. But I will put it from purple to golden with the advanced wild mark. So that's why, if that's going quick enough, you know, at some point when that's going close to finish, I will get another pet to like this one. I will, you know, it's not that far. I will get another pet with the common marks to purple, so I can start to use advanced wild marks on him as well. So we'll have 2 pets that I'm using to use advanced wild marks on. So, you know, these are being used. It's going to take me forever. Again, as a free-to-play, if I do that, I'm settled for years. Then on all the other ones, I will put them to blue with auto. And then when they are blue, I'll start to focus on the stats that matter. So I'll start to focus on infantry health, marksman lethality, lancer lethality. If I'm a rally leader and I'm doing 60-40, then maybe I'm focusing on infantry health, lancer lethality, and I forget about marksman. That's a lot easier, right? If I'm a free-to-play player and I care about doing more bear damage, I forget about infantry lethality, I forget about lancers, infantry's health, lancers lethality, and I'm focusing on marksman lethality, because as you can see, like I've been playing for 2 years, like most of my pets are not blue, most of them, so you won't be able to do everything. So the first step will be to put all your pets to blue, except one that you put to purple. The one that you put to purple, you use advanced wild mark with auto on it, and you don't think about it. All the other one, you put them to blue, and then based on your choice, you do stats one by one. So either you do, you know, health and lancers if you're a rally leader and stuff like that. The only exception to that will be assuming you are like a massive spender. You are like 5-10k a month, you are the top one rally leader of your states, and you care to have all stats. Then one thing to consider is just to go crazy on pets, like to invest a lot of money, and you will need to do that somewhere else. So that's why I'm like 5 to 10k. Maybe there is 1 or 2 pets that you focus on one stat at a time. So, you know, you can progress them with the blue marks, but I will just go crazy on pets. Like the bigger whales, they will want all the stats, but that's really like not even 1% of the population. So it's really like for crazy spenders. For everybody else, that's the strategy I will suggest for pets. Maybe one word about how to get the stones. You will get the stones naturally by playing, from this, and that will be it for free-to-play, for low spenders, even for medium spenders. If you really need some serums and you need to catch up, you can always buy a bit the weekly cards, or to buy a few of these chests. That's what I've done for me. I think I've bought $50 worth of this chest. The only diminishing return here is a bit less VIP points, so it's better if you buy, the $5 one weekly for a few weeks. So let's give you some serum to catch up. Else you can do the weekly card, that's a bit higher value, but that gives you a bit more pet food, which means that you will have more XP, which means that you will need more serums to level up. So will you catch up? The benefit of this one is like it's a bit less value, but you already get only what you need, and you can catch up on what you need more clearly. Something to know for whales: what do you do with your gems when you have millions? Like that's only for whales, but people are buying these insane amounts, right? You see, if I want to get 300 of them, that 150k gems. So people spend million and million worth of gems on these. That's how they are maxing pets. Basically, it's between buying the advanced mark in the pack we just seen and getting these, and that's all whales or rally leaders can focus on one stat and get all their pets to, either to purple and then start to focus on one stat, or all their pets to blue and start to focus on one stat. I think I will do them to blue, to be honest. But, if you buy a lot of these and you want all stats, then put them to purple with these and then start to use the advanced wild mark. But that's 2 ways to buy them. There are not that many other events except, a few seasonal events and stuff. And often people will prefer charm, chief gear, fire crystal, widget, mithril particularly, and stuff like that. So it's unlikely that you buy pets unless you buy out, shops and like seasonal events. So that's it for my guide for pet. That's updated. We've seen the new one as well. We've seen the next one upcoming if the Chinese leak are true. It's all covered. It's a nice chameleon. It's a nice looking one. let me know in the comments if I've missed anything, if you disagree or agree with the strategy to refine pets. I know that's a very, it's a very, there is a different opinion on that. And I give you all the options and then you can decide for yourself. If it was me, I'll do what I said, put them all to blue, do 1 or 2 pets to purple, advanced mark, and then refine one stat by one, stat by stat for the other one. And I think that the hybrid strategy is the best. But let me know in the comments if you agree or disagree. Consider joining the Discord, consider subscribing as usual. Thank you very much for your support and for your engagement, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye bye.